Hello, buddy. San here, engineer, MBA, and investor. And in today's video, we are talking about the Saturday Night Live video that actually popped up in my feed on Sunday night, Sunday evening. And of course, this is about Saturday Night Live, which again, for people not from US, I think me as a Canadian, I think people will relate what I'm about to say. Not a lot of people really know about Saturday Night Live outside the US. So I think it's worth talking about it. First of all, it's basically comedy, right? You guys can remember this is a show that's meant to entertain people. And usually they talk about different topics, ranging from serious topics all the way to maybe Elon Musk giving his sketch on the Saturday Night Live. If you guys remember that, that was under 2 years ago, maybe over 2 years ago. Man, time flies. Yeah, time flies really, really fast. Yeah, that was in 2021, in summer 2021, I remember. So anyways, they bring a bunch of actors. In this case, they have their usual actors. Again, if you've watched Saturday Night Live, these are familiar actors. But the point here that I'm about to make here is they obviously made a video on a sketch on CRISPR. And I can't play this video because copyright laws, everybody knows, especially Saturday Night Live, they'll definitely go after my video on YouTube. So I don't want to do that. So, I'll let people watch their own version of it, either on X.com or on YouTube if you're in the US. I know for non-Americans, they don't have access to Saturday Night Live videos on YouTube. So probably going to have to watch that on X.com. But basically, it's a sketch that goes over this patient here, this person here, and of course, this person has a form of sickle cell disease, and the lady, the comedian, comes to him and says that there's a cure here from Vertex, and CRISPR Therapeutic literally mentions the company names and also the therapy name, which is quite impressive, right? So I want to talk about a reaction that I saw. So first of all, there were a couple of reactions, obviously, just like you can see here. Go CRISPR on Saturday Night Live. How cool! A lot of people are happy about that because it's hitting the mainstream. Saturday Night Live is definitely mainstream. Okay, it's definitely mainstream. When you're on Saturday Night Live, that means you're whatever thing it is, whether that's a technology product, a person like Elon Musk. You're mainstream. And the fact that CRISPR came here, obviously it's a big news for US, for America. And of course, Saturday Night Live wanted to shine light on it, shed a light on it rather. And this great news, right? But there's other comments on it, right? If you take a look, I am not amused. It's not funny. Certain things are being said. In fact, Dr. Urinov, which obviously we respect in this channel, because of his papers and work in the CRISPR landscape, was actually one of our first video on CRISPR. We reviewed his paper, and he said the following. The Saturday Night Live skit about the new CRISPR sickle cell treatment is atrocious, in my honest opinion. It cheapens a landmark moment in healthcare. The joke is made at the expense of two black actors. It trivializes abundantly justified mistrust of the community that has medical experiments. Shake my head, SNL. So I actually won't push back on it, not at all. I actually sympathize with that, and actually sometimes it's hard. Comedy is really hard. Sometimes it's like comedy, I feel like it's a hit or miss sometimes, and I think it rubs people the wrong way, and that's why you have certain comedy shows for certain type of people, and maybe other people are more drawn to other type of comedy. I know there's dark humor, light humor, so I mean, I want to remind viewers, it's Saturday Night Live is not for everybody, right? Most likely, if you have these types of comments, you're probably not watching a show like Saturday Night Live, only because it's sometimes dark humor, something gets in touchy topics that you're probably not amused for good reasons, right? But some other people are amused by it. I mean, depends how you see it, right? I mean, it is comedy in a sense. But I don't think anybody here can deny the fact that it does give visibility of CRISPR Therapeutics and Vertex. Literally, the company names are thrown here. It would be one thing to say, hey, we have a cure now for sickle cell disease, and then make all those unfortunate jokes on the patient, like Dr. Yurnov said. But it's actually what happened is they actually specifically talk about the companies, they specifically talk about the program, which again leads me to believe that the writers here, what they wanted to do is bring attention to the CRISPR revolution that's happening. And of course, using comedy as a gateway, right? Which actually, I would argue, is not the worst idea. Look, where legacy media is always going to cover CRISPR the way it's supposed to cover, everybody expected that. Nature.com, New York Times, Reuters, Business Wire, all these articles, right? But when you go on shows like comedy shows like Saturday Night Live, when you go on podcast episodes, potentially like Lex or Joe Rogan episodes, one of those, I mean, now you're entering in a different sphere. I think you're getting new type of folks that aren't even aware of biotech. Forget about genomics, CRISPR. Just think about someone who's completely disconnected with biotech and the work that's been done in this space in the last few years. Completely disconnected from stocks, right? I'm talking about someone's like literally, does their 8 to 4 job, watches movies on Netflix or Amazon Prime or Apple TV, and then tunes in and shows like that Saturday Night Live for comedy effects, right? And I think that gives visibility over a technology like CRISPR to those folks, and I think that's a great thing. I mean, the best thing we could have at this point now is visibility. The first best thing was to get the FDA approve it. The next best thing is to get more popularity on it, because now you're getting more requests from the communities, from patients, families saying, hey, government X, look into that. Hey, government Y, look into that. Hey, insurance Z, why aren't you covering this? Like, these are the type of discussions that have to happen. And it's not for CRISPR Therapeutics and Vertex to take that load alone. I think this is a societal effort, right? It's a community effort. And don't get me wrong, as an investor myself, I have a duty as well, not just for the companies in this space that I'm invested in, but also for society, right? This is a big thing, and getting popularity out there is definitely a great thing. And I'm curious to see what you guys think. Do you guys think this dark humor is not worth it? Do you guys think, we're sort of going past the line of acceptance here, or do you side with the freedom of speech topic? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. I mean, I think it's a valid statement. I think it's something to be said here, but can't play the video here, guys, like copyright I mentioned here. But do subscribe if you're not, like the video if you haven't, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. Leave me a comment below. Thank you.